So we're going to take a look at sharing in a given ratio. So our first question here is Ben and Jane share £40 in a ratio of 5:3. How much does each person get? So in a ratio here, Ben is getting 5 parts and Jane is getting 3 parts. So we want to know how many parts that is in total. So the first thing we do is we add our 5 and 3. And 5 plus 3 is 8. So there's 8 parts here in this ratio. Now we want to find out what the value of one part would be. So you take your £40 divided by the total amount of parts, which is 8. And 40 divided by 8 is 5. So each individual part is worth £5. Now Ben is getting 5 of those parts, so we need to do £5 times by 5. And 5 fives is 25, so Ben would be getting £25. Now Jane is getting 3 parts, so this time we're going to have to take her £5, the value of one part, and multiply it by 3, because she's getting 3 of them. And 5 threes is 15, and that's what Jane is getting. Now we can also check whether we've got this right, because we had a total amount of £40 to share out. So 25 and plus 15 need to add up to that £40. And if they don't add up to £40, then we've made a mistake. There's something wrong with our answer, because that's how much money we had to share out. So we can't have money left over, or we can't have shared out more than that. So 25 plus 15 does equal 40, so we've done this correct. So remember, the first step is to add. So you add up the 2 parts of your ratio. The second thing that we do is to divide to find out the value of one part. And then finally, to work out each person in the ratio, we multiply by the value of each individual part. Okay, so if you want to pause the video now and use the example we've got here to help you with this next question, you can do that, and then I'll work through it with you. Alright, so the first thing we do for this next question is we'll read through it. So 2 children share 36 sweets in a ratio of 7:5. How many sweets does each child get? So this ratio is 7:5. So the first child is getting 7 parts and the second child is getting 5 parts. So we want to work out our total number of parts. So 7 plus 5 is equal to 12. So we've got 12 parts here. So we're going to need to split this into 12 equal parts. So take our 36 sweets and we're going to divide it into 12 equal parts to find out the value of each part. So 36 divided by 12 is 3. So each share or each part is worth 3 sweets. Now the first child is going to get 7 of those. So 7 times by 3. And the second child is going to get 5 of those. So it's going to be 5 times by 3 sweets. So 7 times by 3 is 21. So that would be child 1. And 5 times by 3 is 15. So child 2 will get 15 sweets. Now remember what we said before, these two need to add up to the total amount of sweets that you're originally sharing out. If they don't, we've made a mistake. So 21 plus 15, that adds up to 36. So yes, that's a good guarantee that we've got this correct. Okay, so we're going to add a couple of exam type questions. So here we have a question and it says Ken and Susan share £20 in a ratio of 1:3. Work out how much money each person gets. So you can go ahead and try this yourself. Pause the video and give it a go yourself if you're confident. And then unpause the video and we'll work through the solution and you can check if you've got it right. So remember the first thing we said was you need to add together your ratio. So we have a ratio of 1:3 here. So we want to find out how many parts that is in total. So 1 plus 3 is equal to 4. So we have a total of 4 parts here to our ratio. So we want to find out the value of one part. So 20 divided by 4 is equal to £5. So each part is worth £5. So to work out what Ken gets, he's getting only 1 part. So Ken comes first in the question. So he's the first part of the ratio. So he will get just £5. So £5 times by 1 is simply £5. Susan, however, is getting 3 parts. So we need to take our £5 and multiply by 3. And 5 times 3 is 15. Now let's just double check that we've got this right. 15 plus 5 does equal 20. So yes, we have shared out the full amount of money. So just fill in our answers. Ken gets £5 and Susan gets £15. So remember, you add up your ratio first of all. That's the first step. Second step is to divide. And our third step then is to multiply. Okay, one more exam question then for you. This one's different in that the ratio has 3 parts to it. So Amy, Beth and Colin. So Amy gets 2, Beth gets 3 parts and Colin's getting 4 parts. We need to first of all find out how many parts that is in total. So again, if you want to go ahead and pause the video now, you can work through this on your own. Or if you'd like to work through it with me as I go along, that's up to you. So first job is to add up and find how many parts we have in total. So it doesn't matter whether there's two things in the ratio or 3 things in the ratio, you just add up all the parts of the ratio. So 2 plus 3 plus 4. So that adds up to a total of 9. So we know that there is 2 parts for Amy. 2 out of the 9 go to Amy, 3 out of the 9 go to Beth, and 4 out of the 9 go to Colin. So we want to find out the value of one part. So we're going to do 36 divided by 9, which is 4. So each individual part is worth 4 sweets. Now Amy's getting 2 of those, so we're going to do 2 times by 4, which is 8 sweets. And Beth is getting 3, so we need to do 3 times by 4. 3 times 4 is 12 sweets. And Colin, lastly, is getting 4, so he's going to have 4 times by 4, which is 16 sweets. So we'll fill our answers in then. Amy 8, Beth 12, and Colin 16. So we want to double check now before we leave this question and move on that we've got this right. So add these up. You have 16 plus 12, which is 28. Plus another 8, which is 36. So yes, this should be correct. I hope you find this useful.